next level like Kimberly's en route to do. So we're supporting her here on her journey and just making sure we connect all the dots for her, get the right mentors and people on her team. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about Kimberly. I know she has a few friends in the audience tonight, but Kimberly has a background in finance since 1998. She's security license advisor in Series 7 and 66. So she's a smart cookie. I couldn't pass that test. I was pregnant at the time, so my brain wasn't there, so I only got as far as insurance. But it is so important to have a person that's on your team that helps you to create that legacy and really get your financial business in order. And Kim is going to take her business to the next level and empower. She has a series that empowers women, but she also empowers men too, right? Yeah, but she has a boot camp and she will kick your assets into shape. So my dear friend, who I got to sit at the airport and really get to know before we even got to the forum for 4 hours, and that was a great, everybody laughed at us. I'm like, it was great. We had a great time, right? All right, so my friend Kimberly Rolfe. This one is for you. You can show me.
Thank you so much, Shani. I want to thank everybody for coming out here. I have to say, you know, when I first came, the room was completely full, but I think people are still recovering from CEOSpace. I know I am. Because it was just incredible. It was just an incredible experience. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I do, but I think before that, I just, you know, I think about when I first came here, and I'm a newbie here. I've been a part of the group probably for about a month now. And when I first came here, I came to see someone speak. And then they showed this video, and I said, oh no, this must be some kind of multi-level marketing thing, something they're trying to get me into. Who are these people? And I have to say that these people changed my life. This has just been an incredible experience. I just wish that I had known about CEOSpace when I first started business. I would be in a whole nother place. But the opportunity and what has been introduced to me here at CEOSpace, I think that you could network for 20 years and not receive and not come into contact with all of the resources that were brought to us in CEOSpace. So it is a phenomenal organization. Just a couple of things that happened with me. You know, I went to my first CEOSpace, so now I'm a graduate. Yay! I went to my first CEOSpace about 2 weeks ago. Stayed at that amazing resort that they showed you on there. And I arrived on a Monday. By Wednesday, I was so overwhelmed with the amount of information that I had learned there. I called my husband. I said, I can't take any more. My brain cannot accept any more information. It was so incredible, so many resources, and so many people there just wanting to help and embracing you and providing you with resources and support. And can I tell you this, since I came back from CEOSpace, I got so many of those see me cards for resources and people who are interested in doing business with me and clients and working with me. I can't even follow up on all of them. And one of the reasons is that I've had a couple of meetings since we came back from CEOSpace, and the opportunities that have come our way have been so phenomenal in connecting with the different people at CEOSpace. It has just been incredible. Almost one deal after another after another. I'm telling you, this is like an entrepreneur's paradise. It is amazing. And I think the most remarkable thing that happened for me is that I came to CEOSpace as a small business owner, but I left as a visionary. And a visionary who recognizes that it's so important that if you're going to do business, learn to do it right, learn to do it effectively. And CEOSpace really helps you to open your mind and to see opportunities that you never saw before. It presents so much to you. So just wanted to give you my little spiel. I'm so excited. I've been talking to everybody about it. I know people that are here that are my guests, they know I've been wearing it out. Because it's just been an incredible journey for me. So what I'm going to talk to you about is personal finance. And while this is something I've been doing for a long time, I always find it really interesting when I tell people that I'm a financial speaker, teacher, and coach. I always get people who kind of pull me to the side and say, hey, I got this little credit issue or something. Can you help me with that? And what I have found is that so many people do not like to talk about money. They will come and talk to me one-on-one, but they don't want to talk about it in an open forum. So what I have found is really important is to be able to present an environment where people can really talk about money. There are so many people who are still trying to recover from this recession. There are so many people who are trying to pick themselves up and figure out what's next. Thank God for CEOSpace, right? But for me, my passion is in money. I started in the financial services industry in 1998. I've worked in a lot of different areas of finance, but what really motivated me to really go to another level in terms of really working with people and really helping people was realizing that not enough people had enough voice, not enough people had enough information on the area of finance. Again, it's a very well kept secret. How many of you learned about money from your parents? Look around the room. Nobody likes to talk about money. So for me, it's a passion of mine, and it's a passion of mine because I want to help people to understand money and also to recognize the power that they have in terms of really getting their money to work for them. So many people are just in a position where they don't have a handle on their money, and so what I do is I help you to really get a handle and really understand your money. I find that most people don't know how to manage their money, whether they have a little or a lot. It's so interesting because I get people who come up to me all the time and they say things like, oh, well, that program that you're doing, it's really nice. It would be great if you can do this at a low-income program. But see, when you work with money, money doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care about how much of it you have, how little of it you have. I find that people at every level don't have a serious understanding of money unless they've had some kind of training, some type of professional experience with it. So what I oftentimes tell people is, I don't expect you to know what I know. You can ask me just about any question where money is concerned. And in most cases, it's probably something that I've already experienced. So what I try and do is to level the playing field and let everybody know that unless you have some formal training in it, I don't expect you to know. Unfortunately, because this is one of the areas that people will not talk about and won't ask too many questions about, what I often find is that people will go into their little corners and they'll be in financial stress and financial turmoil and they won't tell anybody. That's not the thing to do. When you're really concerned and you're really not sure where you need to go, there's so many experts out there that can help you. I have developed an amazing program called Financial Bootcamp where I actually work with people to kick their assets into shape, something I absolutely love to do because it allows me to share my passion with others. For me, I don't think that people recognize enough what you give in exchange for your money. I always think about when I was growing up, anybody played that game? There was a game that was what we would play as kids called Your Money or Your Life. And the way the game worked is someone would approach you and say, your money or your life. They were asking you, which one do you want? Do you want your money or do you want your life? And if you said you wanted your money, what would happen is the person would say, well, okay, well, give me your money. And if you said your life, the person would go around chasing you. And the interesting thing about that game was I never realized that as an adult, most of us, we would spend the rest of our lives trying to make that exact choice. My money or my life. Because the reality is, what you do is you go to work, and in exchange for money, you exchange your life in the form of work, right? In your time. Or we are exchanging our money in exchange for what? A better life. So you're really making that decision all the way through. Too many people make financial decisions based on our image of the American dream. Oh my goodness. we are in LA, and folks love to keep up with the Joneses here in LA. We get this nice front on, we get our cute cars and, you know, our decent houses, we got us a good job, or our business, you know, from the outside in, it looks like it's going really well. And we're so good about displaying this concept that I've got it all together. And then what I find is that those people that got those real nice cars, a lot of us do, they got real nice bills to go along with them. Real nice car notes. And I learned a long time ago that if you really want to learn to understand money, hang around some people that have it. Learn some stuff from people who have some experience with it. Because you'll be surprised that the things that you thought that the Joneses had and the Joneses did, they really don't do. In fact, I think, you know, a lot of people have heard of that book called The Millionaire Next Door. Love that book. Because you'll be surprised by who lives next door to you. Sometimes your neighbor can be the person that you think, oh, they don't have anything. They will surprise you. I'll never forget working in the securities industry. We used to have a mailman who would come into our office, and every time he came, he'd be just complaining, oh my goodness, the world is coming to an end. I can't do anything. My family can't go on vacation because we're just so poor. That's all he would talk about. And so one day when I'm in the office, I'm going through some of the statements, and I just happened upon the mailman. That man was a millionaire and would complain in our office every day about how he could not afford this, he could not afford that, he can't buy his kids any shoes, he's got to work so hard. But what I learned from that experience is that oftentimes millionaires take a complete different approach. One, they think bigger and greater than we do, because they see opportunities. But at the same time, they realize that you can't just spend the money, you can't just blow the money, because if you spend it and you blow it, you don't have it for the greater opportunities. And that's really important for those of us who are in business and those of us who are really looking to take our business to the next place. I always say it's so important that you really focus your money in a way that you have money available for those things that are most important to you, and you don't sacrifice it with daily frivolous spending. So that's one of the things that I really try and encourage people to do, is really to understand your money and then to develop a consciousness where money is concerned. I have found that by the time people come to me, oftentimes they are in financial turmoil because they can't figure out, okay, what direction do I need to go in? I'll never forget sitting down with a couple once who told me, they said, you know, we are a good, strong family. We work very hard, but we can't afford to go out as a family. And I said, really? They said, you know, our lives is just, you know, it's so rough right now. You know, we're both working. We're working very hard. However, we can't afford to do anything. And I said, okay, well, let me sit down with you and we'll find out. Well, I found out that the couple didn't have the money to eat out as a family because they had been eating out every day. You know, they'd stop and pick up the kids from school, and in picking up the kids from school, they would spend that money every day, so they couldn't afford at the end of the week to sit down as a family. So sometimes there's just little habits that you can incorporate. I actually brought a few tips that I wanted to share with you that I think will ultimately help you to make a few decisions that will definitely help you get a handle on your budget, your finances. One thing I hear people say all the time, I don't like budgets. Anybody here like budgets? Anybody? Yeah, I know. Nobody does. Can't stand them myself. In fact, I thought that I must be in the wrong field because I am so not a budget person. I can't stand that restrictive thing that tell me what I can do and what I can't do. Just does not work for me. And then I developed this little thing called the spending plan. FYI, a recovered shopaholic here. And I'm like, okay, if I can do this little spending plan thing, this might work a little bit better for me, because with a spending plan, I'm able to spend all my money on paper before I actually take it to the store to spend. So, you know, being a recovered shopaholic, I'm really good at spending. So that spending plan thing, oh, it worked well for me. So one of the things I always encourage people to do is to make sure that you are living by some type of budget. And when I think budget, I think more of listing all your income and listing your expenses. And then from your budget, you want to work into a spending plan, because what that spending plan will do for you is allow you to account for all the money that you use. If you do that, you will now have control over your money. I oftentimes believe that your money is kind of like your children. Okay? Think of your money. Create a relationship with your money. Think of your money like your children. Do you let your children